And so let me kick things off by introducing myself. My name is David Waters. I'm VP of Business Development and Industry Alliances with Cavrnus. And so I have the pleasure of working with Anthony Duca, who is our co-founder and CEO, and who has taken some time to join me in the booth today so that we can talk about something really fun, really cool that we're up to with respect to Cavrnus RT. So if you would, Anthony, real quick, say hello.
Hello. Good to see everybody out there. I am Anthony Duca, one of the co-founders and CEO of Cavrnus. Happy to debut some of the amazing work we're doing with this platform, specifically around bringing an Unreal Engine version to market.
Very good. All right. And so for those of you that have joined us live here in the booth, thanks for taking some time to check this out. We are keeping an eye on the chat window. We have had a few questions come in, so feel free to plop some questions in there, and we will absolutely get to them within the time that we're here live or right there at the end. And then certainly follow up with you later should you want more information or the opportunity to spend some time with us inside of Cavrnus. We've been having live demonstrations, playing around with a live digital twin game that we produced. We have a very cool Lego assembly and play demo that we also worked on. And so feel free to come by our booth after this discussion and join us or watch those presentations going on. And also feel free to reach out and connect with your email, and we can do an offline evaluation or demonstration of the platform in addition to that. And so what you are seeing now is I have a system. It's a pretty vanilla system by today's standards. It has an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 in it. Not a special, not anything beyond that. Just kind of, generation N-1 GPU at the high end of the segment when it came out, but certainly nothing compared to what you can get today. And it has just a regular kind of i7 CPU. So again, nothing unique, nothing overly special. 16 gigabytes of system RAM, and yet I am running Cavrnus twice on this system. On the left, you can see our shipping end user production client, full-featured client that is based on the Unity engine and Unity platform. And then on the right, I am running Cavrnus RT, a alpha release, if you will, of Cavrnus RT on the same exact system, side by side on that particular screen, which I'm sharing into Hopin. Anthony and I are live in the platform. Our voices are in the platform. The Cavrnus Spaces platform has full audio video conferencing integrated into it, as well as all the normal spatial collaboration features that you would expect from a platform like this. So, Anthony, if you could kick us off and talk about what are some of the things that have led you and Cavrnus as a company to make this addition of Cavrnus RT to what is an existing multi-system, multi-platform spatial collaboration solution already.
Well, I would love to do that, David. Thank you for that wonderful introduction of what we're seeing here and what we've done. So this what we are really excited about is when we started off on this mission of building Cavrnus, we knew we wanted to build a spatial collaboration platform that runs across all devices, that's enterprise ready, being secure, being federated identity, being able to log in with enterprise like accounts, being able to deliver this on premise so you can access Cavrnus from the cloud or access Cavrnus on premise. So these were all core things that we were building from day one about 6 years ago. But we built everything using, from the visual perspective that you see here, using Unity. But underlying this is a platform of microservices with an SDK and a REST API that we built. So we designed it and engineered it to be independent of the Unity game engine, but the Unity game engine was used to do all the visualization and the visual experience. And we did that with the mindset of we're going to at some point make available the APIs in this SDK to the developer community. But also we knew we wanted to be able to take that API and that SDK of this platform and all those microservices and be able to bring it into a Unreal Engine-like experience, which is what we're seeing today on the right side. So that SDK that we've built, we make available here now in Unreal Engine as a module, along with a C++ library and a ability to do blueprints. So you can literally just take that Cavrnus module, drop it into Unreal Engine, and now focus on building content and experiences, and then all the multi-user ability that we bring to the platform is now available. So that's co-presence, that's annotations, that's ingesting any 3D content, that's the entire breadth of this experience now available in Unreal Engine. So you don't have to deal with any of the networking layer of building a multi-user experience. You could just do this now with just getting your content and building on top of it. So that's what we're seeing on the right side. We built on the right is an application built in Unreal Engine, compiled using that module. It doesn't have a full UI on it, it's really just a full visual experience of the space you see on that, which is the Unity version of Cavrnus. Literally, you can load any space now with any content across most people. So that's what we're seeing on the right side. It's live today, and what's really nice, as you see, I'm moving around in the space there, David. You see that? There I am. So that's my user that I'm moving around. So that's the co-presence in real time, but all the functionality works. So we can be in here editing materials. So let's just do that. Let's change the cabinet color to, well.
While you're playing around with that, yeah. I think it's important to point out that this is a platform that has an enormous amount of man years behind it. This is not a new solution coming down with some of the recent events of the world. This is not something that was kind of a VR object viewer that you've tried to turn into a spatial collaboration platform. This was not a VR chat tool or just a simple VR meeting tool that you're trying to bolt this stuff on. This is something that you guys started 5 years ago. It's now in its 6th year of development, where back in the very early days of Oculus and others showing some solutions that were coming, you and Nick Gebbe, who had co-founded BunkSpeed and BunkSpeed Hypershot, had come out, and you guys have been tremendously successful in creating a very easy to use photorealistic image and video or image and movie creation tool for the CAD market so that people could very quickly move their designs from all sorts of different packages, from ideas and SolidWorks and CATIA and you name it, PTC, Creo. They could move that over and get very real looking, photorealistic looking imagery and video out of BunkSpeed. And you guys sold that, and it is now well known as SolidWorks Visualize. And so the next thing that you wanted to do, which we were witness to because a lot of us were at NVIDIA or AMD and partners like that at the time, the next thing that you guys wanted to do was to create this spatial co-presence platform for collaborative design, collaborative interactive training, but always kind of in the back of your mind, you wanted to get back to that photorealism that you guys had really pushed the envelope of with BunkSpeed. And I think it's important to note that in those early days, over 5 years ago now, it was a very smart strategic decision that you chose the Unity platform to start this adventure with, because it was by far the most multi-platform. And so right now, we at Cavrnus, we're shipping clients for Windows 10, both desktop and VR, simultaneously, I should add, with a single client. You can switch back and forth seamlessly between desktop and VR. We're shipping a client for Mac OS. We're shipping a client for iPad Pro, which supports augmented reality, which is really a very easy to use, compelling use case with the iPad Pro. We have a shipping client for Android tablet. So if you have a higher end Android tablet with a lot of system RAM in it, it ends up being a great tier 1 platform for this solution. And we're also shipping some standalone clients. We have a native client for the Oculus Quest 2. I should also note that we support both the Oculus Quest 1 and the Oculus Quest 2 when used in tethered mode. So that's with the Oculus Link cable. That's with the new AirLink, which is supported on Quest 2 only. And then also with Virtual Desktop, the third-party app Virtual Desktop, which we use daily. And that's supported on Quest 1 and Quest 2. So we support those tethered. But then, as I mentioned, we also have a standalone client for Quest 2. And then we also have in beta a standalone native client for the Magic Leap 1 augmented reality headset. And so, Anthony, that was a big focus of your strategy in the beginning, was to have the most multi-device, multi-platform set of clients to be able to utilize what Cavrnus is, which is this very robust, spatially co-present way to have collaborative design reviews, collaborative meetings, all sorts of things like that. And that's what drove the decision to use Unity for the last 5 years.
That is correct. By the way, I think there was some audio issues that people were hearing. Is my audio better? Let's see if someone.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Yeah, it sounds good to you. Okay, so I think they were having audio issues on Hopin for some reason. Caroline's gonna comment, and it's perfect. So my audio is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, let's.
And so then I think if I could jump to the punchline, what happened is you had sales and BD, biz dev resources that were coming back to you and saying, goodness, boss, it would be great if we could go address some of these other industry verticals and solution verticals, such as automotive styling, such as high-end architectural visualization, such as some other content creation markets, such as film and broadcast production. And what we're seeing, what we're experiencing, and what we know from our previous history is that the Unreal Engine ecosystem built in those various vertical markets is dominant, is what a lot of content is in, but more importantly, what a lot of established workflows and intellectual property and understanding and knowledge base and comfort levels. There's a lot of equity in Unreal Engine in these various markets. And goodness, goodness, boss, wouldn't it be great if we had a way to tap into those markets with an Unreal Engine powered version of a Cavrnus client?
Yeah, for sure.
And your first response was, go sell what we've got, which is a really great product that looks remarkably well, if I could summarize.
Absolutely.
And yet here we are with Cavrnus RT. And so
Absolutely.
I should also point out to those listening that Anthony has not just been the CEO of Cavrnus, but he's also been wearing the product manager hat for Cavrnus RT. And so if I could ask the product manager of Cavrnus RT a question, and that would be, what was kind of the driving force and the driving design requirements that got you started down this path to what we see running here today?
Yes. So first to give a nice shout out to the folks at Epic and Mark T and John Patel and team over there that was kind enough to provide us a Epic grant that we used to help fund the beginning of this in October. So we're seeing about 7 months of development here to get to where we are. But the reason why we went forward and said, let's build engine, was we wanted to be able to take advantage of a few things that the Unreal Engine system provides, which is really amazing high quality rendering out of the box with inner reflections and global illumination, and it's coming even more so in Unreal Engine 5, which we're really excited about. But we're built right now in Unreal Engine 4.26, which does give us the ability to do ray tracing as well. So we're going to take advantage of all the capabilities that Unreal Engine has spent many years developing around this really high quality rendering. And so that was really exciting for us, as well as being able to handle really large data sets and being able to integrate into this Unreal Engine pipeline where all these tools are available to create these high-end experiences, whether it be for sales or training. So we wanted to be able to participate in that. We had customers that were basically telling us that, when you have a version of this in Unreal Engine, give us a call. Until then, we feel like, it doesn't, it's not going to be the right solution for us. So there are people out there and there are companies out there that are really building upon Unreal Engine and have built that into all their processes. So we wanted to open up the ability to take the platform that we built, all that underlying networking, all the co-presence and the ingest pipeline and the voice and video streaming, and we wanted to be able to say, let's bring that into the Unreal Engine platform and build on top of that, and build all this amazing capability that you're seeing here as far as render quality, and make it so it's as simple as the Cavrnus application that we all have really grown to love, but make it as simple as we can literally run Cavrnus RT, log into Cavrnus, have a list of spaces that come up, and select it. Maybe you could show that on the right side if you just hit the exit button there. Just show how the Cavrnus RT application on the right side. Yeah, that's the Unity version. That's the spaces. But on the right side, we have the same thing. Yeah, David is doing a wonderful job of a split screen of two applications that want to run full screen. But if you, on the right side, if you hit the red exit button, yep, perfect. You'll see that when you log into Cavrnus RT, it gives you a list of all the spaces, the same spaces that you've created over on the Cavrnus application that we built on Unity. And so you could select the kitchen from here and then enter the kitchen. So it's as simple as that. And it automatically loads all the data, has all the user co-presence that you're seeing. He's in David's in the middle there. He can just rotate a little bit over to the other. Yep, there you go. And there's the kitchen.
I recognize that skybox from the Bunksby days.
Yeah, it's a Best Buy, which is a really nice lighting. It's just a nice lighting for that you'd expect to see indoors.
And there I am.
And there you go. So it's that simple. So it loads all the data that's in the space, and we can insert objects. If I was going to do something fun, David, I was going to insert a SolidWorks model on the fly. But maybe I should share my screen. Maybe you could show that here in the Cavrnus Unity version on the side. But maybe
we're getting crazy now.
Yeah, why not? We got 9 people watching, 10 people. I can't tell how many people are watching but we got a pretty good group of people here. So let's do something that's fun here. So I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah.
So I can do it a couple ways, right? I can show your screen full screen, but because I have them split screen
you can just
in OBS, I'm going to do it this way.
This is fun stuff here. Look at this.
Now I'm adding the stream board.
Put it out.
So Anthony, if you wouldn't mind streaming it to the board.
Now we'll do that. Okay.
There's Anthony's stream.
So I'm going to go ahead and load a SolidWorks assembly here. I found something interesting. This model here, this centrifugal pump. Let's download it. There we go. Let's extract it. That's fun. So if we go in here, we can see that there is. Okay. How's that, Mark? Is that better sounding? So we have an assembly here, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and load that in here. So let's just step out. We're going to insert a file. I'm going to add a file here. I'm going to add that into the system. And I'm going to put that outside here. Let that go. And so all right, so David, here, we just go outside here. You're going to see in the Unreal Engine version, we got a centrifugal pump. So I'm sharing my screen there. But yeah, if you move over to the right there in the Unreal Engine version, you'll see it's that simple. Perfect, yeah. It's out there. There you go. We got a centrifugal pump. That was a SolidWorks assembly model brought right in that fast into a space, and it loads everywhere like magic, as expected. And we can change materials on this. We'll put some metals on here, because that's probably what this is made of. Yeah. Now I'll just make it all metal. There you go. Look at that. What do you think of that, David? From GrabCAD into a space, collaborating.
So I think what is significant about what you're showing, if I can translate based on my experience with the platform, what you're trying to show is you brought a model down, a free model from the internet, you loaded it, and the Cavrnus RT client is to the point where you can load any CAD model from just about any CAD file format and system. It loads right into the spatial platform with the Unity clients. We're seeing it all the same. You're already supporting materials. all your translations that you're doing with the CAD model, it's all being updated. So we're all seeing the same thing. So it's advanced to a pretty far stage from where I had seen it just a couple months ago, actually.
Yeah, we're definitely making really, really great progress. In theory, wow. So, yeah, you should see if you move over to, you can even write on it.
Are supported already.
Yeah, you can see on the right side, it's a little darker there. Let's lighten that up. There you go. I'm just annotating on it. Lighten up this a little bit. And it's that easy. Change the materials. We can make it red if we wanted to. Make it green. But all updates changed, all the changes made are synced real time with everybody in the space, whether it's material changes, annotations, whether we drop in an image here.
So the significance to me, as the part of your company that talks to a lot of end user customers and a lot of industry partners, resellers, content creation companies that are creating one-off VR experiences or spatial experiences or extended reality experiences for end customers. What's significant about this, what I'm seeing is that if I have just a need to have lots of different kinds of clients supported, let's say I'm doing a hybrid enterprise where I have a lot of people coming back to work, but I have a significant number of people that are going to continue to be remote, and I want them to have access to these spatial collaboration platforms where they can retain culture and retain that connectedness and have things like interactive training and collaborative designs and sales meetings where customers are able to see in a space with us what our products are like, what the documentation says. We can make annotations and changes to everything. I want them to be able to support all these different platforms. And so I have, up to now, I've been able to get them pretty much any sort of a client that runs on a system that they have to enter space like this. And what I'm now seeing is I'm going to be able to include in that customer suite people that are building applications where photorealism is a big part of the focus, or an existing tool suite from third parties and from Epic that allows them to create their content, or an existing knowledge base and expertise within the particular nuances of the Unreal Engine workflow. They are now going to be able to leverage all of that to create end customer clients that they can provide their end customers, or even still one-off solutions that have the spatial co-presence platform portion of Cavrnus already built in, already integrated, already with 5 years of development behind it. They'll be able to take advantage of that immediately and then focus on the content part of the solution that they provide their customers.
Exactly. Which is, it takes a lot of work to build a really good content and creating animations and making it interactive. And there's a lot of time that could be spent on that part of it, and then all this underlying ability to do this multi-user, co-present experience is just available, and you don't have to worry about that. You can just plug it right in. Dropped an image in here
the
as
topic
well, by the way.
Of partners and customers and how we currently come to market. And I somewhat implied that that maybe that won't necessarily be a one-to-one correlation. So I guess I should ask, what is the plan for Cavrnus RT and bringing the Unreal Engine powered client for Cavrnus to the market? What is the intent there?
So the first phase of this Cavrnus RT we'll be releasing a module that you can drop in Unreal Engine that's got some C++ as well as a set of blueprints. So you could drop it in and get all the benefits of the Cavrnus user spatial collaboration and build your application on top of it. So that'll be a drop-in. And that comes here in the next month, in July. What you're seeing on the screen that David is showing us is an application that we built using the module that we created. So it's got limited user interface on it intentionally. You can build your own UI and UX around how you want to interact and experience the content in a space. But so this is a demonstration application, and we're going to also be building other application examples on top of this module. We have some training use cases that we're going to be showing. Ultimately, we're really going to provide the tools for the Unreal Engine enterprise community to be able to leverage all this ability without having to build it all.
Maybe on that note, you could talk about some of the things that we are seeing that are different. Obviously, there will always be 100% correlation with the spatial co-presence. There'll never be a difference between being in the space together, seeing what each other are doing, all the annotations, any sort of manipulation of the models. All of that is going to be with full spatial co-presence, so we're all seeing and experiencing the same things at the same time. But it's inevitable with the different engines that there'll be some look differences. And we can actually see that as we're sitting here looking at these two different screens. We're already seeing a little bit of look differences. Now, I know some of it is because things aren't complete with the Unreal Engine version, Cavrnus RT. There's some things that you're still not doing yet. And so we see like this ground plane, there's a difference there. But looking at the pump, there seems to be some material differences. So maybe you could talk about some of the benefits we're already seeing from using the Unreal Engine from a material standpoint, or with the reflectors that they support some of that. But then also your intent to always try everything we can do to keep the Unity engine on par with what we're doing on Cavrnus RT, or vice versa. I could say it vice versa, right?
Yeah. So there is, like you said, most of the core functionality matches one-to-one, whether it's Cavrnus Unity or Cavrnus Unreal Engine, from co-presence to annotations to model ingest to voice and video streaming. All that stuff will have a one-to-one comparison. It'll be exact. The lighting and the materials will have some differences, and we're still working on syncing that to a much closer match between Unity and Unreal. But the lighting models will be a little different as each engine provides some different capabilities that we'll take advantage of. And when we turn on the ray tracing here soon with Unreal Engine, you'll start to see, like on this centrifugal pump, you'll see a lot of things like inner reflections and irradiance from global illumination that will have color bleeding and things like that will just give it a different look, even if the materials match perfectly the inner reflections, the inner bouncings of light, the true global illumination. Right now we have a first order global ambient occlusion that you're seeing, but we'll go to another order in the Unreal Engine version. And so that'll be what makes it look a little different, but the materials, the colors, and the base of each material will be identical. Normal maps will be the same, bump maps will be the same, um, texture maps will be the same as far as scaling and all that stuff. It's going to be just sort of how things are lit will be a little different.
So maybe you and I can go in the kitchen and you can show one of the other examples that was kind of easy for me to notice right away.
I'm going to remove that stream board in there. Yeah, for sure. Well, this is a fun one.
So I've moved the Unity Engine client in there, and now I'm just bringing the Unreal Engine client.
Great. And if you look up at the ceiling, we'll see that there's 4 lights are on. Just turn those lights off. So let's go lights off. So 4 lights are off now. So what's lighting that is there's a directional light. Let's turn that one off, in which you'll see the directional light coming through the glass on the floor. So let's turn that light off. Boom. And now the only remaining light in the space is from the HDR image that's surrounding this, which happens to be an HDR image of a Best Buy, which has a lot of lights in it. So that's why things are pretty bright by default, because of the HDR image that is being used to illuminate. But it's all real time, so we can turn these lights back on, and you can see as we turn them on, a lot of the shadowing happening. Now we have all 4 lights on. One off, you can see once that back on. And then let's turn the directional light back on, and you'll see the lights coming on the floor. Like we were talking about before, how things get lit, depending on the engine, looks a little different. So on the Unreal Engine side, it's much more natural to what you may expect. It's a much brighter, harder edged on the Unity side, which we're working on some things to smooth that out as well. So these things will start to match pretty closely in the end when it comes to lighting. But that's what you see on the floor there. And
this is always a great opportunity to point out that we're huge fans of our friends at Unity. We've worked with them a long time in many different roles and even with different companies. And so they're a group of people that we know well and respect. And we would be the first to admit that there's things that we can continue to do on the Unity side with respect to image quality, and that we're going to keep pushing the envelope on the Unity side of things. It is a key part of our long-term strategy, without question. But it has been a kind of a big thing on our roadmap that we always wanted to get to at some point was not just to implement Unreal Engine because it's a popular engine or known or we like the guys down in North Carolina, but probably more because here are these 2 or 3 markets that, because of where these 2 engines come from, these 2 or 3 markets are the exclusive domain of Unreal Engine. And these 4 or 5 markets, Unity is the ubiquitous engine of choice, right? And so me as the business development guy, I'm always looking to, broaden and extend the reach that we can go into, which is why I've always kind of been the noisy wheel saying, geez, these markets we're pretty much locked out of them, if only because of the knowledge base and experience and the bias that you almost can't get past because of how well established the tool suite and the workflows and the pipelines are. We have to have an Unreal Engine powered client. And if I could, speak for you guys in engineering and the founders of the company, it all goes back to your decision to focus on the spatial co-presence platform first. And what you visualize the space with on top of that is is kind of the secondary thing, right? But the platform for spatial co-presence and collaboration is the foundation that came first. This isn't a 3D object viewing tool that the first thing you did was get VR and CAD model viewing going, and then trying to figure out how you tie that into multiple users. It was just the opposite of that. How do you tie multiple users together with a platform that has a full scripting engine, that has these persistent journals that we're all keeping in sync and collaborating through, that we can come back to these spaces, and because of their persistence, all the changes we make, all the annotations we make are there and updated. And at the end of the day, how you then visualize those spaces and draw those spaces sits on top of that. And that's why we're able to do this. This is unheard of. This is unheard of in this industry with respect to a spatial collaboration platform, having the benefits of both a very multi-platform Unity engine and a very photorealistic focused Unreal Engine, clients on both in the same space collaborating.
Absolutely. I'm sure you were just going through that wonderful explanation. I was fun, and so you could see the light bulb. I kind of like how we do lights. Instead of having it be some sort of sphere, because it's a point light, we show it as a light bulb, something that's pretty intuitively understandable. But as I move that around, you can see how it just affects everything in real time. So, we can, if I just hide that object, boom, goes away. Everything happens in real time here. So we can have, the way we built our rendering pipeline in both Unity and Unreal is we built it in a way that's, you can have 20, 30 lights in a scene and the frame rate still is really good. So, and that is kudos to our CTO. We'll give a little shout out for co-founder and CTO Nick Gebbe. He's out there listening. He's built multiple rendering engines. So when we went out to build this application using a game engine, we started to understand what we could really do to get the utmost performance as well as the best quality we can get for the device targets that we're targeting. So we've done a pretty darn good job of that, I would say, as far as being able to bring in any data on the fly. It could be millions and millions of polygons and not killing your performance, adding multiple lights and doing a really good job of a first order ambient occlusion. So you always have some nice soft shadows on everything, which helps you to see shape, and just really upping quality and performance. And that, running that on a iOS device, for example. So we're really proud of the fact that the rendering capability we have really is second to none as far as performance and amount of data and everything in real time.
So you mentioned Mark Petit at the beginning of the call, and I think it's good to bring a focus to that, and certainly thank Mark and his team at Epic, who are focused on enterprise engagement for the Unreal Engine. And I think I want to highlight the fact that you were given an Epic mega grant that helped drive this schedule and drive what we're seeing here to come to fruition. Can you maybe touch on that for a bit, on how that affected the schedule, how that jump started things, and then maybe if you could go on to, in more detail, talk about what the schedule is for bringing this technology to market?
Yeah, absolutely. We were lucky enough to receive the Epic Mega Grant back in October, and we were really focused on trying to up the rendering quality to another level to be able to enter into some of these use cases where they feel like the rendering quality that Unreal Engine provides is what they need. And so we were really laser focused on like, how do we get to that with our platform? And we started pursuing and realized, we're going to be able, based on how we engineered and architected this, we're going to be able to do something really amazing by taking this platform and all these microservices and making them available in Unreal Engine. And we started down that road, but we also said, let's try to go ahead and see if we can get some support from Epic in order to really accelerate this with some more resources. And so when we applied back in October, they were immediately interested in sort of what we were trying to accomplish based on our success in the market to date. And Mark Petit was instrumental in helping us sort of get through the process. And within a couple months, we were onboarded and ramped up to we have a team of 4 Unreal Engine developers now, so it's a pretty significant team.
And so what is the schedule for Cavrnus RT as far as getting it into the hands of partners?
Yeah, starting July timeframe we're gonna start to provide this to our distribution partners and to our strategic partners. So, and we'll be providing 2 things. We'll be providing this application that we built that you're seeing on the right side, and there'll be more capabilities that we add to finalize things. So the application will be available. It's a download, and it works very similar to Cavrnus Unity, where you log in, you select your space, and you're in there. And then we're also going to be providing this Cavrnus RT based module for Unreal Engine, which will consist of a C++ library and a blueprint library. So you can be able to add this functionality right into your Unreal Engine application. If you're programming in C++, you can interface with it that way, or if you're an artist building blueprints, you can interface with it that way. So it's going to be really nice.
I think your dog thinks so.
Yeah, I noticed that. Every once in a while, he runs in here. He sees some crows in the yard, and so he wants to get to them.
I thought he said, here. He's like, that way. Great job. Well, is there anything that you would like to wrap us up with, Anthony, before I kind of have some final thoughts and end the little presentation here?
Yes. So, Cavrnus has been building this platform for almost 6 years now. Things are really accelerating for us. We're excited about that. We're excited about our great customers doing amazing things with this product and helping save time, helping drive sales, many different use cases from meet, plan, build, and sell, we call it. And we're going to continue rapidly innovating. We're investing a lot of energy and money into building more and more capabilities. And this Cavrnus RT is just the beginning of some great innovation you're going to be seeing coming from us. We're the first company that has been able to build a collaboration solution on both game engines, but you're going to see a lot more firsts from us this year. Really excited, and just to pay attention, connect on our LinkedIn. You'll be seeing a lot of stuff coming from us. And if you have any questions, just reach out. We'll be happy to answer and get you up on a demonstration of this, and so you can play with it yourself.
Very good. And so I would like to thank Anthony, the product manager of Cavrnus RT, for giving us a bit of a demo and showing some of the latest features and the progress that it's currently at. I can't even tell you guys and gals that are watching and listening, it's come so far so fast, even in the last month or two since I was first getting a chance to see it and look at it. And so thanks to Anthony, the product manager. And then I'd also like to thank Anthony Duca, the CEO of Cavrnus, for coming in and talking about the strategy and the history of the platform and the company. It's an amazing solution. I have never had a demo where I haven't had a set of customers or partners that weren't blown away by just how easy it is to have these spatially co-present discussions with full persistence um, across the globe at the same time, and be able to come back to these spaces, and all the things that you saw there are as they were before, with advanced scripting animations and interactive training, moving data in and out of the system through the API and SDK examples. The feedback is always overwhelming. And so you guys have built something really special here. And so on that note, I want to make sure and invite you all again to come by our booth. We're keeping the booth pretty much on and active for most of the days here for the VRARA Global Summit. And our main booth, our main feature, we're showing a digital twin example where Mark Viscani, our senior solutions architect, has a series of light panels on the wall in his office behind him. And we have the digital twin of that within a space. And Mark is using our APIs to move data in and out of the platform in real time. And then the scripting engine within the platform so that we can interact with these panels, and they get updated both in Mark's office and in the space. And so we can play a game, a light game, like the old Simon game, the old electronic game. We can play a memory game, us against Mark, us virtually against Mark in his actual office, and with sounds and interactivity. It's all pretty cool. And then we're also able to show you the demo we've built using Lego models, which is also pretty neat. So come by our booth at any time, just about. If the live light is lit, it guarantees that we are in there with the booth active and we're playing around, and you might even catch us changing things around in real time and setting things up. We made some changes today, for example, that were kind of fun to mess around with. So please come by and check us out. And if you have any questions, I should look in the chat to see if there's any that are addressed to me. Otherwise, feel free to reach out. Give us your email if you want contacted for some more information or a live demo on your own time. Would love to do that. And so thanks again, Anthony, for joining me with this discussion and the preview of Cavrnus RT with Unreal Engine technology in it.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. We'll talk to you soon.